guys, you're all welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's still me, your favorite Mary J Black. And Miss Mama in the building, babies.
So guys, you start by applying vaccine to the eyes so that you avoid redness of the eyes. After that, you go in with your hydrating spray, hydrating serum, whatever that is good for you, hydration. Then the next step is toning, which I skipped, and I went on to moisturize the face, which I'm applying for moisturizer. You make sure you moisturize the face very well before you prep the skin. Then you go in with a sweat block to avoid sweat and oiliness. Then you go in with your foundation. Please, if you want to use a foundation, you go in with you work with the shade of her neck. Don't use the shade on her face, the color, her skin tone on the face. Don't use it. Use the one on her neck. Then you use the foundation that will go with her whole body from the neck. Then from that, you go in with your liquid blush. After blending, key to makeup is blending. Actually, if you're doing makeup, you have to blend everything. Anything you apply to the skin, blend and set. Use a setting spray to set any process that you do. Now I'm applying a liquid blush. Anything you're doing, this is a liquid blush. You go into your liquid blush, apply little. You don't need to go too much. Then I'm highlighting the under eye, and I'm using a two shade concealer that is lighter than her skin tone. So that's what I'm using. I'm using a 2 shade lighter concealer on the under eye. You blend it very well to avoid under eye creasing. So when you're done, before you set, I will advise you to tell your client to look up. You blend it very well before you go in with your setting powder. As you can see, that's what I'm doing. I'm blending it. Blend the harsh line. Make sure there's no harsh lines. So after then, blend. In makeup, blending is key. That's all I can tell you. Makeup blending is key. So when you're done blending, you still set. You go in with your setting powder. Before you set the under eye, please tell them to look up and blend it again to avoid under eye creasing. So after setting everywhere that you've highlighted, you contour. This is powder contour, not oil contour. This is powder contour. I'm using powder to contour her nose, cheekbone, and all. I'm going in with a powdered blush. Pink, in the shade pink, because when you're working with a client that has a dark skin, I'll advise you use a pink blush. So after that, you set the skin again, allow it to sink, then you bake the under eye. As you can see, guys, I'm trying to tame her brows. I don't carve brows. I'm trying to tame her brows with a brow gel. So when you're done taming the brows with a brow gel, you go in with a setting powder, which I'll be doing right now, to make the brows matte, because brow gels normally they are oily, so you need to go in with your setting powder. After then, I'll be using a black eye pencil to outline the brows. To outline the brows. When you're done outlining the brows, the reason why I use black eye pencil is to make the brows come out very well, to be pronounced. So after outlining the brows with a dark shade of eye pencil, black shade to be precise, then you fill in the brows with a brown eye pencil. But in her own case, I used black eye pencil all through because she's dark skin. So if you're working on a light skin client, I'll advise you use a brown eye pencil to fill in the brows. After then, I'll be going in, as I'm going in with brow tint, dark shade to be precise, to tint the brows. This is optional. If you want, you can use it. If you don't want, I don't use it all the time, so it's optional. It gives this smooth finish. So after then, drawing her natural hairs. If you're drawing a natural hair, please, you go light-handed. You don't go dark. You make it very light, in a light way. After then I'll be concealing the brows. I'll advise you, please, when you're drawing brows, make sure your brows is perfect even before concealing. And I'm concealing. I'm using a shade lighter than her foundation, because before we used to do 2 shades lighter on the brow bone, but now I'll advise you use a shade lighter than her foundation to conceal the brows from the brow bone. When it comes to the inner corner of the brows, you can use a dark shade of foundation, maybe the one that I use to contour the nose. Actually, I don't even use any foundation. After then, if I'm done blending, I'll just go in with the shade of powder that I use to contour the nose there. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to blend, then I'm blending the other side. I'm concealing the underside, sorry. Even without concealing, this brows is perfect. So whenever you are working on a client, please try as much as possible to make your brows look perfect before concealing. So here I'm using the shade of her foundation. That's what I do. I use the shade of her foundation, even though other people don't conceal there, but I feel like I should just conceal it. So I'm using the shade of her foundation. After that, you blend, you go in with a powder, shade that you use. The shade of concealer that you use, that's the shade you go in with. So after that, I think we'll start the eye look. I'm still blending. Now I'm going in with a gel liner brown shade as a eyeshadow primer. I have a primer, but I feel if I want to do dark eyes, I go with brown gel liner. So that's what I use for my eyeshadow primer. Now I'm using a dark black eyeshadow, the outer corner of the eyes, because it is a smoky look that I want to create, but with a touch of pigment. I want the eyes to pop out. I will always advise you to always blend every process that you do. You make sure you blend it very, very well. Blend. Make sure there's no harsh lines. No harsh lines, I repeat, because in makeup, blending is key. If you don't blend your client's face or you don't blend your face, you look funny. That's just the truth. You look funny actually. So I just went in. I'm applying my pigment glue. So I'm still applying it to the other eye. After then, I'll just go in with my pigment. That's what I'm doing. I so much love this pigment. I love it, because it has this chameleon shade to just any outfit it goes with any outfit. It's green actually, but if you're wearing purple, it will go with purple. If you're wearing red, it will go with red. It's like it transitions with your outfit, so it goes with every outfit. That's why I love it. I'm done blending. Make sure there's no harsh lines. You blend. I'm still blending, so I'm trying to fade out the harsh lines. So this process, I'm trying to draw the liner. I'm using a gel liner, black gel liner. This look, I don't want to do any wing liner. I will just make it simple, because it seems like should I say it's a bridal transformation. This is a bridal look. You can create this look on a bride, maybe traditional wedding. So that's why I'm not at this point. She wanted to tear because she has a teary eye, so we need to be very gentle. I'll advise, if you have a client that has a teary eye, you go bit by bit. You just don't do it at once. When you're applying eyeliner, you do it bit by bit to avoid them from crying. So she's trying to sniff in so that she will not tear up. So I use this shade, a shade lighter, a concealer that is a shade lighter, to bring out the wing, because I did not draw any wing. So I want it to come out perfect. So I'm trying to blend it. I'll be going in with my eyelashes. I use a lashes glue. Please, when you're trying to get a lashes glue, you have to be you have to be extremely careful, because there are fake lashes glue out there, and when it comes to your eyes, you need to be extremely careful. Your eye is very, very sensitive. Everyone's eye is very sensitive, so you should be careful about the kind of product you apply on your eye. So I'll be outlining her lips. I'll be using a brown gel liner to outline her lips. Our advice, if you have a client, you don't just go with their lips. Sometimes you create, that is why you're a makeup artist. You create the lips sometimes, and sometimes you just draw it like that. Sometimes you create the brows, sometimes you just draw it like that. This is a nude lips, pinkish nude. That's what we did.